On a gray Thursday morning in downtown Boston, Eleanor Cummings unlocked the door to her small, family-run antique store, Timeless Finds. It was the kind of place you'd walk past a dozen times before realizing it was even there. Faded awning. Hand-painted sign. The scent of old wood and forgotten memories seeped through the walls like whispers from another life. Eleanor had run the shop for 38 years. She knew every clock, every cracked mirror, every dusty book spine by heart. Customers were fewer now, antiques didn't compete well with Amazon and instant gratification, but she stayed open for the few who still believed in stories buried in time. That morning, she went about her routine, dusting shelves, warming the old radiator, placing the same bowl of lemon drops at the counter. Just as she flipped the open sign, the door chimed. A young man entered, maybe late 20s. Clean-cut. Nervous. He looked like someone who belonged more in a corporate boardroom than in her cluttered little store. "Can I help you?" she asked. He nodded but hesitated. "Are you Eleanor Cummings?" "Yes." He pulled something from his coat pocket. It was a yellowed, folded paper, creased at the corners, fragile as autumn leaves. "This belonged to my grandfather," he said. She took it carefully, unfolding it like sacred scripture. It was a receipt, handwritten in her own slanted pen, dated November 17, 1986. Item: Civil War compass, brass. Price: $18. Signed, E. Cummings. "I found this among his things after he passed," the man said. "He always said he'd borrowed it from a lady who ran a shop filled with ghosts and kindness." Eleanor stared at it, stunned. "I wanted to return it." He reached into his backpack and pulled out a small velvet pouch. Inside was the compass, tarnished, beautiful, engraved with initials faded from time. "I know it's probably worthless now, but he always said it was borrowed, not bought." He felt guilty, I think, even though he never said it outright. Eleanor's eyes welled with tears. She remembered the day clearly. The man, old, poor, polite, had come in asking about antiques from his father's war stories. He was short on cash. She'd let him take the compass on the promise he'd pay the rest later. He never came back. "I assumed he changed his mind," she whispered. "Or forgot." The young man smiled. "He didn't. He carried this everywhere." She ran her fingers over the cool brass. "You're honest. Like him." He shook his head. "No, I've lied. Stumbled. Taken shortcuts. But this felt like a chance to do something right." She looked at him with a warmth that could melt January snow. Integrity isn't about never failing. It's about what you do after. Later that day, Eleanor placed the compass and receipt in a glass case near the front window with a card that read, "Returned after 37 years. A reminder that honesty never expires." The story should have ended there, but it didn't. That evening, a local woman posted about the compass on social media. "Boston's antique angel," she called Eleanor. The post went viral. Within days, visitors began flooding into Timeless Finds. Not for discounts. Not for antiques. But to see the compass. To feel something real. Journalists came. Then a film student who wanted to make a short documentary. Then a retired ethics professor who brought his class. Soon, people started bringing their own lost things. A library book 40 years overdue. A necklace from a pawn shop never reclaimed. A handwritten apology from a man who once cheated on his taxes. Eleanor created a small exhibit in the back, the Room of Returned Things. The compass had sparked a movement. Donations poured in. Eleanor was able to keep her shop running, but more importantly, it became a sanctuary for honesty, redemption, and second chances. Years later, when Eleanor passed away peacefully in her sleep, the shop was donated to the city under one condition: that the Room of Returned Things remain untouched. It did. To this day, visitors walk through its creaky door and stare in awe at a brass compass resting in glass, its needle still trembling, still pointing home. Even the smallest act of honesty can ripple across time. Integrity, like antiques, may age, but it never loses value.